So one more theme that is asked in UPSC PYQ'S is that one, that is about the Stupa concept, that is asked in 2023. The concept of Stupa is Buddhist in origin. At the same time, Stupa was generally a repository of relics, and it has the commemorative as well as votive aspect of structure in Buddhist tradition too. Okay, so this is, I think you must have read, I think stupas are pre-Buddhist mount. Stupas are pre-Buddhist, but they were adopted and made famous by Buddhism. Okay, so that is first statement is wrong actually, and also repository of relics, the famous Buddha's relics also, and at the same time that is whatever the things that is used by Buddha. So those kind of things were used and to protect them. So it is a repository of relics. At the same time, some people constructed due to their owners as well as to commemorate certain events also. So that aspect is definitely there in stupas too. So only one, only two, all three are, and we know the first statement is wrong. So that is the reason, that is only two pairs are correct, or two statements are correct, and the second statement correct, and the third statement is correct. Now we discuss one literature, Avadana literature. We will look at the ancient history video. So we discuss about Niti Prakarana, Avadana, which of the following are Jaina literature. In one of the literature, like I think I must have mentioned, this particular aspect of stupa is mentioned, and which that particular literature is that one, that is stupa architecture. We will come to that particular literature also, Avadana architecture. That is where it has been mentioned. The stupas are burial mounds. We will understand the stupa as a concept. Dome under which relics are kept. Relics of Buddha also, some other related to Buddhism also, and before Mauryas only it is existed. That is a Vedic times only that stupa architecture was existed, and relics and ashes of the dead people were kept over here. Okay, so relics and ashes of the dead people were kept, but popularized by Buddhists. They were adopted by Buddhism and is popularized by Buddhist people too. Okay, and then look at this particular question. Consider the following statement. I think we we solved this question. So now some facts about the Buddhist particular question we can talk about, the stupa concept. That is, Buddhist texts mention about the commemorative aspect of the stupa. Avadana Shatakam, this is the literature I was talking about, that is mentioned over there, that particular mention. And this textbook mentioned Mula Sarvastivada school, Mahavadana, Stupa Vadanam, and even some Jaina literature also, like Raya Pasaneya Sutta, refers to the commemorative aspect as well as the votive aspect of the stupa. So where is mentioned? Particularly in this particular literature, and this particular literature has been asked in one of the prelims questions too. What is this Avadana Shatakam? We discuss Avadana literature. It's a Buddhist literature. It's a past lives and virtue deeds of the, and past lives virtues deeds led to the subsequent lives events, correlating the both the lives and explain the workings of karma. And example that is a part of Avadana or Apadana literature is Divya Vadana, Mahavastu, Avadana Shataka, the century of noble deeds. This particular literature we discuss in ancient history. You can go and check that one. And there is Divya Vadana is there. It is belong to Mula Sarvastivada school, Mahavastu, and in Mahavastu only that we have the references of 16 Mahajanapadas. Again, interlink all these kind of things. So the great book belong to Mahasangika school or Lokottaravadin school. It's a hagiography of Buddha. So hagiography means biography of the saintly people. And this Divya Vadana, that is, it is in Sanskrit. Ashoka Vadana is part of the Divya Vadana. It belongs to Sarvastivada school. It means the heavenly legend. Divya Vadana means. So all this. So that is one related concept leading to questions in next year or so. Okay, so that is how questions are being repeated. The repeated themes, that is whatever the themes are there. So know them very in a comprehensive manner. In a comprehensive manner, because one question is getting related to other question. Answer options are getting related to other questions too. Okay. Now stupas, we'll understand. After Buddha's 9 stupas were built in UP, Bihar as well as in Nepal. So in Nepal, Kapilavastu, Allakappa, then again Ramagrama. In Bihar, we can talk about Rajagraha, Vaishali, then again Vetadipa and Pava. And then again in Uttar Pradesh, in Piplavina, then again Kushinagar. Then Sanchi Stupa we know that is built by Ashoka. And at the same time, Sarnath Stupa was also built by Ashoka. We discussed about Sanchi Stupa also. We discussed the Stupa architecture. We already discussed about, we can talk about the Jyotirlingas, we discussed about the temple architectural concept, we discussed about cave architecture. Now we are talking about stupa architecture. So this is one of the, again, the areas that is where the questions are coming from. Now it is the basic parts of stupas, chatras, yasti, yasti maybe, so armika, stairways, anda, okay, then toranas, these are gateways. So these toranas are gateways, okay, so in different directions of this particular stupa. So then we can look at this, all these particular places. So all these particular parts rather, not places. So what is Esti means, what is Chatras means. Chatras, so they represent 3 jewels, Triratna of Buddhism. Buddha, Sangha, Dhamma, that is one thing. This Yasti, they represents one of the axis mundi to the center of the earth around which universe is revolving. That is a concept in Buddhism. Anda. So under that one only, that relics of them were kept. Okay, these Toranas and this sculpture related to Jataka stories of Buddhism were sculpted over there. Okay, this is upper walkway. Okay, and these are railings. Railings. Armika, it's a abode of the god. They represent like that one. Okay, so different places have different meanings over there. So what is the parts of stupa? First and foremost, we talk about three chatras represent three jewels: Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Then again, also chatra symbolizing royalty and protection. Then again, we'll come to core of the stupa was made up of unburnt brick. That's the core of the stupa. We talk about that Anda part. Okay, and then again, outer surface is made up of using burnt bricks. Okay, one surface is made up of unburnt brick, other surface is made up of burnt bricks. But later times, stones also started to be used. They started using stones to build stupas, particularly by the time of Shungas, by the time of post-Mauryas, by the time of Kanishka, by the time of Indo-Greeks. Okay, so stones also started to be used. Initially, bricks were used, wooden material was also used, but later the stones also started to be used. Prakshanapata, that is Medi, the upper walkway part that we talked about. This one is, okay, so upper walkway around Anda. Okay, so that is the Medi part. So that is the Prakshanapata. Prakshanapata is also there in Hindu temples also. That is also there over there. And then again, Yastir spire, like I already mentioned, it symbolizes an axis through the earth center around which universe is thought to revolve, according to Buddhist traditions. According to Buddhist tradition, a line through the earth center around which the universe is revolving. Around which the universe is revolving. That is Yastir spire. Okay, you can look at this one. Okay, Yastir spire, a line, an axis mundi. That is one thing. And now we'll come to Armika. It's a balcony-like structure where abode of the god, it represents the abode of the god. And Toranas, like I told you, it's a gateway. It's decorated by wooden sculptures about Jataka stories. The Jataka story that is depicted on the railings and Toranas of the stupas. What is Jataka stories? Previous birth stories of Buddha. And Jataka stories are part of Sutta Pitaka. We know the three literature of Buddhism. Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. Sutta Pitaka deals with the Buddha's teaching, Dhamma concept. Vinaya Pitaka deals with the rules and regulations. Okay. Then at the same time, Abhidhamma Pitaka deals with the philosophical teachings of Buddha, and also it is a summary of the Sutta Pitaka also. So Jataka stories are part of Sutta Pitaka, and these Jataka stories are represented or sculpted in the Torana part. Okay. So this is about stupa. You can just look at the real picture of stupa. That's Chatra, Armika, Anda, Torana, Medi. That's upper walkway. That's Prakshanapata, enclosure wall. And this is the sculpture in Torana. That is gateways. And also the Toranas were added by Shunga's dynasty from the time period of Shungas. When initially temples were constructed, only few parts were there. Later additions were made. In the same way, stupas when they built, there were similar structures. They were also evolved over a period of time. Some simple structures were built in the beginning, and later what happened? The later started adding these kind of different structures. These Toranas were added from the time period of Shungas. Too. Okay, so that is about stupas. Then we are coming into one more Buddhism place that was in news. Like if you read about stupas, Amaravati is a famous Buddhist center, and some in nearby areas is there. Amaravati, that is in Andhra Pradesh. There is one more place called as Dhanyakataka. Okay, so Dharani Kota. Which one of the following regions was Dhanyakataka, which flourished as a prominent Buddhist center under Mahasangikas. Again, look at that one. Mahasangikas, that theme again repeated. Where it is located. That is Andhra Pradesh, Gandhara, again Kalinga, and then again Magadha. Magadha we have discussed. That is again Mauryan Empire. Okay, then again Gupta Empire. All these are Magadha places. Kalinga, of course, it is famous for which one? Ashoka. Okay, Kalinga is known for Ashoka. Okay, after Ashoka, it came under the influence of Chedi dynasty, sometimes also referred to as Mahamegavahanas. Okay, it is not there in the slides. That is the reason I am writing. So Mahamegavahanas. Okay, so that is Kalinga region. Odisha, again the famous ruler Karavela. I think we discussed that one. Karavela, Atigumfa inscription. Karavela on the banks of river Daya. Okay, on the banks of river Daya. Okay, Magadha, of course, it is Bihar region, Pataliputra, Patna, and Andhra Pradesh. It's a very extensive topic, but we will discuss Gandhara. Gandhara is a sculptural school. We will discuss that one. Now, Dhanyakataka, it is near Amaravati. Okay, it is near Amaravati. That is one thing. Now, answer is A, Andhra Pradesh, Dhanyakataka. Now we'll discuss this cultural schools, because this topic, this question is making us to read about Gandhara school. But Gandhara school is not just standalone. Along with Gandhara, there is Mathura school, and along with Mathura school, we have Amaravati school also. We'll discuss all of them. That's cultural art schools, carving of Buddha's images. So sculpture means the carving either through stone or wood, or you can also plasting can also be done, or we can say it is called as that is Sarepirdu. Okay, so that is lost wax technique. That is also we can make sculptures out of that one. And why Buddha images were carved? Because Buddha idol worship had started because of divinity of Buddha. Buddha became God, and Buddha's idols needs to be worshipped. So that sculpture started. Okay, encouraged by Central Asian rulers like Kanishka, like Indo-Greeks, like Kushanas, all of them, they encourage these particular schools. And 3 prominent schools emerged, and that is Gandhara, Mathura, and then again Amaravati. So Gandhara, that's present day Pakistan region, Mathura UP region, Amaravati, Andhra Pradesh region. Okay, so these we will discuss all these 3 sculptural schools also. One by one we will discuss. First we will come to Gandhara school. What are the differences of all these 3 schools we can discuss? So it's a Greek and Roman sculptors. So influence of Indian sculptors are also there. Influence of Greek sculptures are also there. And influence of local tradition. The local sculptors, they combined with the Greek sculptors. Okay, that is the reason Gandhara school is also called as Greco-Indian school of art. So it is Indian tradition as well as Greek tradition, and Roman tradition is also there. It's also called as Hellenistic art. Hellenistic again meaning the same, that is Greek. Hellenistic is a time period in Greek history. Okay, Hellenistic is a time period in Greek history, and that is the reason it is also called as Hellenistic art also. And it is period of this Gandhara school between 50 BC to 500 AD. 50 BC to 500 AD, and Gandhara school flourished in 2 stages in terms of the material use. In the earlier stage, they used different material. In a later stage, they used different material to make the sculptures, to make the images. And the early school was known for its bluish grey sandstone, and later school it is used mud and stucco. Mud and stucco means that is lime plaster, lime and water mixed to make the plaster. So this is the first stage, blue grey sandstone. This is the second stage. Okay, this is like a second stage, that is lime water mix to make the plaster. And utilizing these material, they made sculptures. We will see these sculptures of the school also. Which is sculptures of this school also. And mainly patronized by Kushanas, that is came from Central Asia. Okay, little bit Central Asia as well as Chinese origin is also there, particularly Mongolian origin is also there. So this is Gandhara school. Okay, because it was there in the answer option, that is the reason we are exploring it. And then again, look at the features of Gandhara art. Look at how Buddha is depicted. So how Buddha is depicted, muzzles of the Buddha, we can see it can be very much distinguished, and you can see this halo. Okay. Then again curly hairs, then again long ears, ornamentation are very few. Buddha is in meditative state. Buddha is in meditative state. Okay, seating images of Buddha, distinguished muzzles of Buddha can be seen over here. Then again, look at that one, other features. Again, this robe, that is folded robes, we can see that one. That is, Buddha is depicted with garment draped in Greco-Roman fashion. Then again, curly hair, whatever I previously discussed, it is over here, curly hair. In spiritual state, Buddha is in meditative state. Okay, seated images of Buddha. Seated images of Buddha also. Okay, a few ornaments are very, very few. Even in previous images also, ornaments are very few too. Okay, and then again, some of the Roman, because it is called Greco-Roman architecture, so Greco-Roman sculpture rather, and the Roman influences in this particular school is that one, the scrolls. The scrolls are like, we can talk about, these are called as scrolls. Okay, and that scrolls are for the division of this particular sculpture we can see. Then folding robes of Buddha. So previously we talked about folding robes. This is not actually Greek, but it actually Roman. It actually Roman, Greco-Roman it is called as. Okay, so and then again anthropomorphic images, that is human characteristics for animals also. Like Varaha Avatara of Vishnu, that is anthropomorphic. Same here also, anthropomorphic features we can Gandhara school, that is influenced by Rome. The scrolls, the flower scrolls, we can talk about fold robes of Buddha. All these are coming out of Roman influences. Okay, what is the Greek influences here particularly? We can talk about halo, the masculine body, the broad forehead of Buddha, long earlobe. Okay, then again thick hair, and that's curly hair also. Okay. Thick hair, also called as the curly hair. Then again we can talk about the mustache and beard of Buddha. Mustache and beard of Buddha. These are all Greek influences, because they can be very specific also. Which of the following are Greek influences in Gandhara school? Which of the following are Roman influences in Gandhara school? Okay, they can ask these kind of questions too. So you have to be very, very particular. Especially in prelims, you have to be very, very particular. At least general idea will help you to write good answers in mains, but in prelims, you have to be very, very particular about that. Okay, so general to particular, that's required. Okay, so Greek influences. Then again, you can talk about Roman influences. Then again, other features, Gandhara school, very curly hair, spiritual state, ornamentation, few ornamented, seated images. Seated images. Okay. And now we are coming to Mathura school of art. We can distinguish, or we can say compare between these two schools to better understand this particular concept. And this is developed between 1st century BC to 3rd century CE. Little bit older than Gandhara school, and influenced by the stories and imageries of all the three religions. Like you go to Ellora caves, all the three religions are represented. Which are all the three religions? That is Buddhism, Hinduism as well as Jainism. In Ellora also as well as in Mathura also. But in Gandhara, majorly Buddhism. But in Mathura, all the three religions are represented too. And Mathura artists use the local red sandstone. The white spotted red sandstone is also called as their bluish grey sandstone in the earlier time period. Stucco or lime plaster in the second stage of the Gandhara's development. But in this Mathura school, one local red stone, the white spotted red sandstone, that is being used. And the first image of Buddha, first idol of Buddha, that is produced in this particular school, because it's slightly older, because it goes on 1st century BC and Gandhara school on 50 BC, slightly older. Which one? Mathura is slightly older, and it is slightly indigenous. It is indigenous and not much external influence is there. External influence is there, but not much. But majorly it is Indian influence, because we can see that is Hinduism and Jainism representation. Okay, so and in Central Asian rulers also encourage these schools too, and supported by foreigners, Kushanas, Indo-Greeks, they also encourage this school. They also developed a particular school according to their taste, that is Gandhara school. Okay. Then again, look at the features of Mathura. Hindu gods are represented over here, and Hindu gods are represented with their weapons. That is Ayudas means weapons. They are represented. Kartikeya, Vishnu, Kubera, okay, Shiva, these gods are represented. Then again, Sun or Surya. And the halo around the Buddha is larger than Gandhara. The halo around the Buddha is slightly larger than Gandhara. Okay. Then again, Buddha face are head are shaven, but they are bearded and mustache Buddha. But here the face and head are shaven. Where? In Mathura. Then Buddha is seated in Padmasana. There Buddha is seated images in Gandhara also, seated images in Mathura also. Okay. Then Hindu gods, Linga has been represented, Vishnu has been represented. Okay. Shiva sculptures we can see, Vishnu sculptures we can see in Mathura. And then again you can look at images of other Buddha, seated images of Buddha, again standing images of Buddha. Okay. These in Mathura, seated as well as standing images. This is Mathura school. Again, famous image from Mathura is the image of Kanishka, headless image of Kanishka. Headless images of Kanishka. Okay, so this is also discovered from Mathura too. So discovered from Mathura. And again, Mathura influenced two other schools, that is Kaushambi school and Sarnath school. Okay, and in Buddha images in Sarnath of plain drapery, that is folded drapery was there, folded ropes were there in Gandhara, but here plain drapery is there. Okay, covering both the shoulders. They are also covering both the shoulders. And around the Buddha is very little ornamentation here. Little ornamentation, whereas the Mathura Buddha images continue to depict the folds of drapery in Buddha images, and all around the head is profusely decorated. We are comparing these two schools with Mathura. Okay, so little ornamentation in Sarnath and Kaushambi, and more ornamentation in Mathura, especially in the halo as well as, and even the drapery is folded where in Mathura, but here drapery is very plain, and they use Chunar sandstone, bluish grey sandstone in Gandhara, stucco and plaster, that is in again Gandhara, white spotted red sandstone, that is in Mathura, and Chunar sandstone, that is in Sarnath and Kaushambi schools, UP. Then Sarnath Buddha, one example we can see. Sarnath Buddha. Again, influence of Mathura, shaven without any beard or mustache. Because Sarnath is got influenced by Mathura itself. Mathura does not have any bearded and mustache Buddha. Okay. Then again, Amaravati school, on the banks of river Krishna, and nearby one site is there, that is Dhanyakataka or Dhanyakataka. This was the question that was asked. And patronage of Shatavahanas, so indigenous, because of that one, that is indigenous. And images were important in Gandhara and Mathura. The major difference between Amaravati, Gandhara and Mathura is that one, the images of Buddha, images of Hindu gods are very famous in Mathura, because Mathura has all the three religions, but Gandhara only Buddhist images. But here Amaravati, we talk about narrative art. Okay, the one particular event, it is narrated through sculpture, depict an incident in a natural way. For example, there is taming of an elephant by Buddha. And that one event, that is sculpted in a story format, in narrative art, that is stories. And white marble was extensively, that is a unique feature of Amaravati school. The white marble was extensively used, and mainly used tribhanga posture, that is a body with three bends. In this particular sculptural images, we have seen the tribhanga posture was extensively used, body with three bends. And this question was also asked, I guess, tribhanga. This question was also asked. I think I missed this particular question putting in this particular session, I guess. So this is taming elephant. This is a narrative art. So Buddha is taming the elephant, and this is represented in Amaravati Cultural School. But their standalone images were Gandhara and Mathura. Gandhara mainly Buddhist images, Mathura mainly we can talk about all the three religions images, all the gods. But here again majorly Buddhism. Again tribhanga position. Again Nataraja is the best example to understand tribhanga. Tribhanga where the body bends in one direction at knees, at hips and at neck. Okay, in different directions at all these three places. Okay, this is a tribhanga posture sculptures you can see over here. Again in Amaravati, it was extensively used. Again Nataraja, a sculpture of Cholas. Again best example of tribhanga. Best example of tribhanga. Again that is also has been used. Some exchanges, some news about Nataraja images there. Nataraja sculpture is there. Please look at those things also. That is one thing. And again this one, yes, I think tribhanga. This question is, I think I have added. Okay, so tribhanga, as in 2013, solution is a one leg is bent and the body is slightly but oppositely curved at the waist and at the neck. Okay, leg, hip or waist we can talk about, or the neck. So this question was asked. Okay, this question was asked.